installHUB.com. Streamlining your installations.
Hello. Thank you for listening. We've made it to Friday, the 26th of May. Another bank holiday is ahead of us. So let's get you up to date so you can enjoy your weekend. Now, speaking of bank holidays, a lot of you may be pushing off this weekend. And if you're an EV driver, unfortunately, you do have to plan in where and when you can charge. But this news should help. Google-owned mapping app Waze is adding a new feature that seeks to help EV owners find a compatible charger en route. Users, once they have entered their vehicle mode and plug type into the app, will be able to find the nearest EV charging stations. To avoid outdated and unreliable information about chargers, Waze have said it is leveraging assistance from its community map editors. They will ensure that details about these stations are accurate and up to date. By adding up-to-date EV charging information to the Waze map, it's easier to charge your car and get help finding where or when you'll come across the next station. Waze said that this new feature will be rolling out to users worldwide in the next few weeks. Tesla said this week that it's now selling Powerwalls separately in select US markets. The company hasn't put out an official list of these markets as far as we can tell, but the Tesla website does offer a way for prospective shoppers to check if they live in an approved spot. Australian drivers are facing heavy new fines for parking in electric vehicle charging spots. The fines, some of them added to road rules late last year, ranged from $3,200 in the Australian capital to $369 in Victoria. Experts are saying the heavy penalties are important to encourage electric vehicle adoption and to prevent ICE drivers from parking in the spots. Floating solar panels on reservoirs could produce 3 times as much electricity as the entire EU, a new study has shown. Now, solar panels are one of the cheapest and most efficient ways of generating electricity, but they also take up a lot of space. According to a study published in the journal Nature, covering just 30% of the surface of the world's 115,000 reservoirs with solar could generate 9,434 terawatt-hours of power annually. That's more than triple the energy production of the EU. Keeping up with solar news, the UK and Canada have agreed a landmark agreement to cooperate on critical materials such as cobalt and lithium that are essential to the economy. By Business and Trade Minister Nusrat Gahan MP and Canadian Minister of Natural Resources Jonathan Wilkinson. The idea is to help make UK manufacturers of cutting-edge technologies more resilient to global shocks by promoting research and development between UK and Canadian businesses, driving innovation and growth. Minister for Business and Trade Nusrat Gahan said, "Every single one of us depend on critical minerals to make the technology we use in our everyday lives. With a dash for minerals to meet national businesses' needs, it is essential we work to build more resilient supply chains for critical minerals." Through this dialogue, we will work with one of our closest global allies in Canada to build and strengthen our supply chains and boost innovation, securing jobs and growing the UK economy in the process. Green maritime tech of the future is to become a reality thanks to a £60 million boost. For the first time, the UK government is funding the development of new clean maritime technology across a 2-year period, generating highly skilled jobs across the nation and positioning the UK as a world leader in green solutions. The green technology industry could be worth several trillion, but developing countries will miss out on the boom unless they jump in now, before 2030. Now, from a roughly equal position 3 years ago, green technology exports from the most advanced countries are already racing ahead of developing nations. Now, this comes as a warning from the United Nations Trade and Development Agency. They're saying that without intervention to close the gap, early adopters will build in lasting advantages, making it even harder for developing countries to catch up. It's estimated that 17 key technologies, which are at the leading edge of green innovation, could create a market worth more than 9.5 trillion by 2030 and up to 1.5 trillion in 2020. The technologies include artificial intelligence, electric vehicles, green hydrogen, biofuels, nanotechnology, 5G, gene editing, robotics, 3D printing, wind energy and blockchain. They can be used to produce goods and services in a way that leaves a smaller carbon footprint. The United States and China currently dominate these fields with a combined 70% of patents. In more local news, Cheltenham Borough Council is launching a free initiative to help small to medium businesses in the town reduce carbon emissions and lower their energy bills. A brand new and totally free sustainability initiative from Cheltenham Borough Council is offering 300 SMEs operating within the Cheltenham Borough free access to online platforms like Zeller to help them reduce carbon emissions and lower their energy bills. Delivered through Cheltenham Zero and part funded by the Sustainable Business Communities Project and the United Kingdom's Share Prosperity Funding, the council hopes to help local companies kickstart their sustainability journey and meet its target of making Cheltenham net zero carbon by 2030. Zeller allows businesses to calculate and understand their carbon emissions, then build an achievable plan to reduce them based on the company's size and sector, with the platform already helping over 1,000 SMEs across the country. The platform also gives the council and Cheltenham Zero consolidated data reports so they can track the town's progress in reducing carbon emissions. Even Microsoft with Xbox are trying to do some stuff to help with sustainability. They have actually revealed a brand new toolkit that they've developed. The kit aims to help creators reduce energy consumption and measure carbon emissions during game development. The Xbox Developer Sustainability Toolkit includes research such as power monitor tools, certification reports, power consumption dashboards, and best practices. Certification reports will provide details such as game energy consumption averages for specific in-game areas, which include loading screens and menus. Meanwhile, power consumption dashboards will display energy consumption data during gameplay. So I'm always after the opinion of you podcast listeners, and this week I've put out a few questions. So I asked 72% of Brits would love solar but believe it to be a waste of time in the UK due to the lack of sun. I mean, we do have a sunny bank holiday weekend now, but not usually. And apparently 13% of you believe it's pointless here in the UK, whilst 88% believe it's still workable. Positivity, that is what I like to see. Another question asked this week was as follows. If humans could harness 60 minutes worth of solar energy, it would be enough to power the Earth for, according to National Geographic. Did you think it was 12 months or an entire 6 months? 23% of you believed it was an entire 6 months, but the correct answer was in fact an entire 12 months at 77%. I also asked you a question this week, which was, do you believe the EV infrastructure will meet the 2030 target here in the UK? Interesting results in 20% of you believed possibly, 12% of you believed yes, but sadly 68% of you believed that the answer was no. Now do be sure to follow our social media channels. I'm often interacting and asking your opinions and thoughts on several topics. Now, as we cover batteries, you may have noticed iPhone users are saying that Apple's new iOS 16.5 update is ruining their battery life, with reports of charge draining within hours. Now, unfortunately, there is an update that has happened this week, and if you're an iPhone user, you will know that these updates often just happen without you say so. A lot of people have taken to Twitter to talk about their frustrations. There's a lot that this update includes, according to Apple: bug fixes and security updates for your iPhone. They've claimed that now it's more than ever imperative that your phone is secure and safe from hackers, and this update is what a lot of that is about. A lot of people, though, are claiming that unfortunately this update seems to be affecting the battery life massively. So if you're an iPhone user and you're finding that your battery is draining pretty quick, that could possibly be why. And finally, we'd love to hear this: 74% of tradespeople are upskilling to provide green tech to their clients. New research from Direct Line Business Insurance has found that 3/4 of tradespeople have upskilled themselves, enabling them to install green technology for clients. This comes as 8 in 10 have seen increasing demand from people to install greener technology in their home. And if this is you, we could possibly help here at installHUB. We have our software that's constantly ensuring to streamline your installations. Be sure to check us out and see if we could help save you time and money. Go to installhub.com. So from everybody here, we hope you have a fantastic weekend. The weather is on our side here in the UK and it's supposed to be holding out all weekend, which is great news. Now, I'll be back with you next Friday. Keep yourselves safe and I'll see you then.